Welcome to the Write Project podcast, where we discuss writing, publishing, and everything books. I am your host, Matthew LeDrew, author of the Xander Drew series and Infinity novels, and partner at ENGE Books. I have with me my co-hosts, author Amanda Labonte, and fellow author and publisher, Ellen Curtis. On today's episode, we're going to be discussing NaNoWriMo 2017 and the new Amazon Fulfillment Center opening in Canada. Since it's our first episode, we're going to try to introduce some of our staff here and the people you're going to be hearing from for the next 30 minutes or so. Amanda, tell us a little about yourself.
I'm Amanda Labonte. I write young adult books with a fantasy twist, and I write paranormal stories. I'm also a mom. I have 2 kids, and I try and juggle writing life with working life with kid life. That's me.
Are both your children sane?
As far as I know, but that's assuming that I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I understand.
But they're cute.
They are
Cute. Cute
adorable.
as heck.
They're different.
They're very different.
From each other, I mean. Also from most other people.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you write?
I'm the author of Call of the Sea, which is about to become a series. It's a young adult fantasy set on the Cape Shore of Newfoundland. And I'm also the author of the college-age paranormal story, Supernatural Causes.
Yeah, that hit best-selling in the cult on Amazon recently.
It did.
Yeah, you're a bestseller.
Woohoo.
Woohoo! Ellen Curtis, tell us a little about yourself.
Hi, I'm Ellen Curtis. I am a partner at ENGE Books. Matthew's co-author of the Infinity series. I've written many short stories. I favor short stories to a large degree, and so I started the From the Rock anthology series with ENGE. I am also the youth liaison on the Writers Alliance of Newfoundland Board of Directors.
The Write Project podcast is filmed in front of a live studio Erin. We have an Erin in the house right now. She is Erin Vance. She's not going to be talking much, but you'll hear her laughter and giggling. There it is.
Other days we may have a different live studio Erin.
Yes, there could be an Erin with a Y. If we can find one, there may even be an Erin with an Aaron. We collect Erins here. They're like our Pokemon. So Ellen, you're getting a lot of submissions lately. As of writing this is October the 29th, so currently we are 2 days away from a big deadline with us that we've been looking forward to for about 9 months. The deadline to Chillers from the Rock. If no one's heard of it, the From the Rock series is a series of short story anthology books. We do a different genre every year, focusing on combining established talent with young talent, with new authors from inside the province or the general region of the Atlantic provinces, usually from inside Newfoundland, with rare exception, with the goal of the established authors bringing in the audience that will then get to meet some of the new authors and the people they're going to be reading for the next few years.
Well, I believe that was the goal originally. I think the From the Rock series has grown, though, from that, and people are picking up From the Rock just to read From the Rock now, because they know it's going to be a good collection. This year we're doing Chillers, as you mentioned, so anything slightly scary, we are all for it. Again, though, PG-13, because this is our collection that we like to keep to a wide open audience.
The submissions will actually be closed by the time this episode airs.
Yeah.
So talk about some of the submissions that you've been getting. You were just saying today you've gotten, I think, 6 today?
Yeah, so as usual, as the deadline approaches for something, it comes in like a torrent. All year, it's been a steady trickle. Ever since we announced it, we've been getting submissions. And now it's everything coming in. So there's quite a bit to sift through now, and it'll be a while before I do my announcement this year, I think.
Yeah, there are already some people posting online about their anxiety with having submitted and now the waiting process.
I believe you're one of those people because we rejected you last year.
Yeah, certainly did.
Yeah. This is your genre.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to be writing the foreword this year.
Yeah, you'll be writing the foreword, and hopefully you'll have taken your expertise from your novels and the many, many horror books that you've read in the past, and you'll be applying it, so we'll have a real gem for this collection.
Yeah, I actually wrote a story that takes place in the Xander Drew series that I'm reading now. It takes place after Faith, which is coming out in December, and before the next book, Family Values. It takes place right in between those two, and focuses in on one of the side side characters. I am a bit nervous about it, though. I wrote it specific for this. It's been a long time since I wrote short fiction. I'm looking forward to input from you and your co-editor, Aaron Vance, because, you know, I'm looking forward. You guys are amazing editors, and I welcome your input into it, but I think it could use some tweaking.
Thank you. I think it's going to be a while before most of the people who've submitted hear back from us, just because there is so much to go through.
Especially Melanie Collins. I would like it if she heard last. Like, if we didn't announce her until, like, the day before it went to print, that would be ideal.
I mean, it wouldn't be ideal if you were one of the people putting out the anthology, so...
I am one of the people putting out the anthology.
You're not, though. You're pretty hands-off. It's generally me taking on most of this stuff, so I'll just scoot you to the side there, if you will. And I think we'll definitely be announcing the names starting January at the latest. But we gave ourselves more time this year, specifically so that we would have enough time to go through everyone's with consideration, do a really, really thorough editing process with them, instead of leaving ourselves under the gun as we have in some past years. Because the first year we did not anticipate the response we would get. Second year we were blown away with it again for Fantasy from the Rock. And this year, well, it hasn't stopped since last year. So yeah, ever since we announced it, we've been getting submissions almost daily.
And to be fair, I mean, we based our expectation of, oh, we won't get a lot of submissions the first year on the fact that this is technically our second Sci-Fi from the Rock series, or the From the Rock series. We had 3 much smaller ones, but we didn't open it up to everyone. We kept it to organizers of the conventions.
Of the Sci-Fi on the Rock convention.
Of the Sci-Fi on the Rock convention. That was where the name originally came from. And so we didn't get a lot, and we only got like 10% of the people involved in it. So we were like, oh, you know, it's not a lot of interest for it. So we opened it up to everyone and expected to get, oh, maybe hopefully we'll get enough to fill up the book and we won't have to, you know.
Well, we've got a huge community here.
Yeah,
of writers
we've got a massive community, but it came in ways we didn't expect. I mean, we're always turning away. We try not to turn away good material, but we always have less pages.
We're at a point right now, though, as a company where we're kind of at threshold. So I wish we could be taking more authors on than we currently have, but we're limited by our resources at this point. So, but you're going full time.
Yeah, I'm going full time, which changes our resource allocation a whole lot. As of this December, I will be going full time with the authoring and publishing and the tutoring.
It's scary. I've been there. I went full-time writing 2 years ago.
Well, you still are kind of.
Well, yeah. So, in fairness, 2 years ago, I decided to start doing Engine full-time, and I have done a number of different contracts since outside of Engine, but primarily it was my focus, and over the last few years we have managed to grow the company significantly, and I'm hoping that we'll see the same sort of impact under Matt, as I'm going to be stepping back a little bit more in terms of running the day-to-day.
Yeah, I've got my to-do list there of stuff.
Yes, you'll need more than one to-do list.
No, I don't foresee I will.
Well...
Really long to-do list.
In fairness, I'm looking at starting January 2018 with 5 different daily planners for different projects. So you need to be better organized, I think, if you're going to be entering into this.
Nah.
That's what he is you for.
Yeah, I don't have the time to help organize him anymore, though.
So let's move on. We're going to talk about something with writing now, okay?
Sounds good.
All right. Okay, so we're coming up on NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month. That's this November. What do you think of NaNoWriMo, Amanda?
I have never done it,
See?
but I've written a lot in a month before, but I've never specifically set out to do the NaNoWriMo goal, which I understand as being writing 50,000 words during the month of November.
Yes.
Yeah, which I think works out to over 1,600 words a day. So I've never done it, but I'm looking forward to trying it this year because I'm on a writing deadline, so I need to try it.
What are you on a writing deadline for?
I'm working on Call of the Sea 2, and I have a deadline late this fall, so I need to get going. I have it started, I just need to get more written on it. So I'm doing the thing where you take a project you've already started and like trying to finish it, as opposed to specifically just trying, because there are people who go in with a brand new novel idea and they write the whole thing. Their goal is to get a draft of a novel from start to finish throughout the month of November. So I've never done that, and I'm not able to do that this November, but I mean, it sounds like a great motivator for someone who's trying to especially get that first novel completed, because finishing it is half the battle.
Oh yeah, absolutely. For if it's your first novel and it's like, I need to dedicate time away. I've never done it either, I should say. People have tried to get me to do it the last few years. You have tried to get me to do it this year, and I didn't sign up, but I will.
You need to sign up.
I will. I'll sign up. We have an event at we have events all month long at the tutoring center at 75 Barbara Drive, right?
Yep, in Mount Pearl.
Yep.
If you're listening in the St. John's area.
Yeah. If you're not listening in the St. John's area, don't go to wherever your 75 Barbara Drive are. Like if you're in a city that has a Barbara Drive and the numbers go up to 75, don't show up in November and expect there to be events. It won't work. I mean, you could.
I mean, there could be, but we don't know about them.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it would be as effective.
I don't know, if someone knocked on your door tomorrow and was like, hi, I'd like to come in and write for NaNoWriMo, you saying you'd turn them away?
I am saying I wouldn't open the door to begin with.
I see.
But that's just me, and you know,
No.
I like my inside.
There was no room at the inn for the writer?
No.
They got turned out in the cold. I understand.
But if you're looking for an online community, you can join up at NaNoWriMo.org and find your local NaNoWriMo group, and there's probably events wherever you are, because they seem to be all over the world.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're like, they seem to be the regions seem to be very organized.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, as an established author, though, I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I feel like every year, people who, and maybe it's just me, like, you know what I mean? Like, I acknowledge that sometimes I am the old curmudgeon. So sometimes people who've, never written, or they're writing their first novel and it's like, oh, I'm joining NaNoWriMo this year. Are you going to join? And I'm like, and I'll play dumb for a second. I was like, what's NaNoWriMo? It's like, it's when you try to write a novel in the span of a month. I'm like, so every month for me, because this is my job. But I support it for especially if it's your first novel kind of thing.
I feel like you are a bit of an old curmudgeon, so I think this is a good time to refocus.
Maybe. Yeah, that's true.
I think it's nice that authors get a month.
Yeah.
The people looking to write novels get their own month. Not
That's
everybody
true.
gets a month.
I mean, I feel like
true.
it's been taken by force.
Yeah, but sometimes, you do have to. I mean, to get back on the topic of writing,
Yeah.
the NaNoWriMo
Yes.
concept, though.
Yes.
I am pro NaNoWriMo. I haven't done it
Oh,
before,
yeah,
but
obviously.
I am pro people giving it a go.
What do you think about the 50,000 word goal? Because a novel is defined as 40,000 words up. And I've gotten into, not arguments because it's something so minor to argue about, but little, my head hurts, disagreements with people where they're like, no, a novel's 50,000 words or more. And I'm like, super not. And it's like, no, it is, because because they've done that around a bunch of times and I know that's the goal. I'm like, that's great. They don't make the rules for what a novel is.
No, I think there needed to be a universal guideline that everyone wanted to work for, everyone who wants to work towards that particular goal.
Yeah.
I think for first drafts too, it's important to aim higher rather than lower.
Because you're going to cut a lot.
Well, yeah, you're going to cut a lot and you might not make the goal, so trying to get there is half the battle.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But it's a really super ambitious goal, so it's probably not the sort of thing that you can do and have any sort of a life along with it. But I've heard a lot of authors have actually gotten books out of it, like the I think it's Marissa Meyer series Cinder, that started as a NaNoWriMo book.
That's a good series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it changes a lot from that first draft, and it should, NaNoWriMo,
Everything
about getting
should.
a good first draft, and by good I mean done.
Yeah.
Done is better than perfect. So get it done during November and then edit during winter.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Complete in haste, edit at leisure.
That's your motto?
Just made it up.
That's your okay.
But I'm gonna
Compete
make
in
it my motto now.
Complete. I thought your motto was
No, Matt.
It's not
No.
on brand, or it's not ideal. No.
From an editing perspective, would you have anything that you think, for people who are going to submit their NaNoWriMo work, that you would?
Please do
Ellen?
not, on December 1st, submit to me what you have just finished at 12 midnight, November 30th. If anyone thinks that's a good idea, just
Reflect.
Lock yourself in a room. Just stay there. Don't let yourself have Wi-Fi. Just edit. Because I can guarantee you never edited enough before you submitted it to someone to look at.
Well, it's not even just the editing. It's read it at least one time.
Yeah, you need time to read it.
So maybe there should be a National Editing Month after
Oh,
the National Novel Writing Month.
There should be a National Novel Reading Month. So that's what? NaNoWriMo, which almost sounds the same. NaNoWriMo.
I think it would be ideal, perhaps, to take the month of November to write and then think about submitting come spring. Just sit on it for the winter and work on it.
Like an egg?
Yeah, winter's a great time to edit.
Yeah, winter is a good time to, grow things.
It's dark. There's nowhere to go. It's after Christmas.
We're just
You've
gonna
spent all your
hibernate.
money. Just hibernate and edit your novel and then submit in the spring.
Yeah, that's true.
But don't talk to me before then because I'm like a groundhog and you don't want me to see the shadow of your editing failures.
That's a really forced metaphor. That's unbelievably forced
awesome.
metaphor. Was it?
It was.
Was it?
It was.
Okay.
So transitioning to publishing now, I've been hearing a little bit about Amazon's fulfillment center. I don't know much, but Matt, I believe you've been reading up on it. Do you want to give us a bit of lowdown?
Yeah, this is really recent. This is only as of the 26th, October 26th there, which at the time we're recording is last Thursday. And it's weird because I thought it meant one thing, and it may not necessarily mean that thing. It's good news either way. It's jobs for, the people of Calgary either way. It's jobs in our industry coming to Canada either way. So it's a good thing overall, but I was interested because there is a big problem that a lot of indie and small press publishers have with CreateSpace. We don't use CreateSpace at Engine except for one of our titles, and part of the reason is it gets held up at the border a lot. Things kind of get held up there a ton, but not only that, people get slammed at the border with extra costs and extra tariffs and extra taxes.
Import fees.
Yeah, import fees. With CreateSpace that they don't necessarily with other providers. Like we use Ingram and Lightning Source, and that doesn't happen. Lots of other things that didn't happen. We used to work with Blitzprint, and that didn't happen there either, but
that was out of Calgary as well, wasn't it?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Which is why I was excited when this Amazon Fulfillment Center came up, because I was hoping that the CreateSpace orders for Canada, it would make sense if they were coming from
Calgary?
Yeah, from Calgary. It would make sense if you were ordering a book, if there was a fulfillment center in the country you were in, that it would go there, so it wouldn't have to go over the border. And I wondered if this had to do with NAFTA being, renegotiated and stuff like that, if Amazon's kind of like hedging their bets or something like that, and go, oh, just in case it's harder to get stuff over the border, let's put a fulfillment center in Canada now.
Yeah, but Calgary was marketing pretty hard to try and get something.
Yes, you knew something about that.
I read up on their campaign. They went down in Seattle, and the Calgary their economic development organization went down there and did some street art to try and convince Amazon that they're coming to Canada, and particularly coming to
They heard
Calgary.
Banksy, didn't they?
I don't know.
I don't think they did. I don't. Why would you lie about that?
I didn't lie about that.
Okay.
Matt.
Okay.
You're just the rumor mill.
But
embodied.
But will this mean though that books don't get held up at the border the same way?
I don't think so. I was talking to a friend of mine in the industry, and initially I thought that, and I kind of messaged a couple my fellow indies. It was like,
right.
because I was kind of like, ooh, maybe we'll use this now, because in some ways CreateSpace is very attractive. It's honestly just with the way you get hit at the border.
For people who don't know what CreateSpace is, though.
Yeah, CreateSpace is Amazon's independent book publishing platform. A lot of small press publishers use that,
I've heard it's pretty user-friendly.
Very.
Yeah.
Very. There's almost no barrier for entry for it, which is the plus and the negative kind of thing, because it's created kind of a flood to the market for anyone who wants to put a book out, can do it very easily, but you can do it without, there's no proofreader on CreateSpace. Like, it's not published, it's just printed.
Right.
There's no proofreader in the systems that we use either.
Well, we have the proofs. We have Aaron Vance. We have people, like, it has to be on the user side, and if it's not being put in there, then, you know what I mean?
I think that's true of a lot of print-on-demand
Oh,
services,
absolutely.
though. I don't think that's unique to CreateSpace.
No, it's not. It's not. It's just so user-friendly. Like, there are no, like, with the one we use, you have to put in tax IDs, you have to send off paperwork, you have to do faxes, there's a lot involved.
So you would consider CreateSpace as perhaps the most novice-friendly?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. You can upload a Word document. It doesn't even need to be a PDF.
Okay.
Whereas you need to know, or what we do for Ingram, you have to know formatting. You have to be able to use InDesign. You have to be able to work with their InDesign templates. Like, there's just a little bit, and I'm not trying to make it sound more complicated than it is. It's not complicated. If I can do it, anyone can do it. But CreateSpace is less complicated again. It's definitely the most novice-friendly. Absolutely. Because I was hoping that the CreateSpace orders would come from that Calgary office, but they're still, looks like their CreateSpace printer is still at a specific place down in, I want to say Minnesota. I could be wrong about that. It might be Michigan. I know it starts with an M, but still down in the States there. But actually, I was talking to another industry contact who basically was like, it would be real, there shouldn't actually be all these fees at the border. Like, it would be, like he was saying, it would be great if Amazon would remember that America and Canada at this time, and have for the last 10 years, had a free trade agreement without each individual author having to remind them every single time. So apparently there is a way around these fees. You just have to kind of contest it.
It's not just the fees, because sometimes it's just mail traveling through the border is delayed.
Yeah.
If customs decides, has a slowdown because they're checking out packages.
The delay is not the problem. A lot of people get hit with fees, like up to.
I've experienced a delay.
Yes.
Coming through the border, and that was what my first book, when it launched, didn't arrive because it got held up. Just delay.
That's Call of the Sea?
Yes.
That was when you were with Fierce Inc.
It was, and they ran into some trouble with shipping books through the States, and they had issues with books getting, just packages being delayed coming past the border. So if you can print in Canada, or if you can print through a Canadian center, then you avoid that too.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a part of me that when we're doing small press events here in Canada, like they'll ask, we take our local stuff. We want to be international, but we also take our local stuff we're very proud of it. So we use local artists for a lot of our covers. We use a local editor. We use lots of different local talent for our work. We go to local small bookshops and we get to do signings there.
But there are no local printers that can meet Lightning Source or CreateSpace even.
Yeah, that you can't meet the quality kind of thing. It's not the same.
Their quality and all of the services that they offer.
Yeah.
Because they
distribution.
Lightning Source we have excellent distribution through Lightning Source, and I believe through CreateSpace as well. No?
Only to Amazon, because it's Amazon's platform.
Still, that's better than, say, when we went with Blitzprint in the past, where all they did was print. That's the only thing. Yeah. And here locally as well, the ones that we've looked into, all they do is print, and it's not print on demand. So this is where it makes sense for us to, unfortunately, be using international businesses instead of supporting locally. We would prefer to be able to support local. Yeah. And it means that we've got to, I guess, be watching the NAFTA negotiations coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. Isn't that right, Amanda?
Sounds good to me. This is really not in my wheelhouse, because
you don't deal with this?
With choosing printers and choosing publishers, I only deal with it when the product doesn't arrive and I'm sad.
I see. Have you ever had your product not arrive with ENGE?
No.
Yes.
I have not.
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just
That's true.
Back in the day, Tourniquet Reprisal, I was pretty unhappy when that did not show up for a convention, where that was the only book that I was going to have there at Infinity, and they were in the same box at the UPS delivery place out there.
Was this when we went out for an Atlanticon?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep, it was, and I was very frustrated.
As a writer, there is nothing sadder than not having your book show up for an event that you...
Oh, there's something there is something sad there.
There is sadder, but...
No, there is something sadder, and I can tell you what that is. That's, we ordered our first print run of Infinity. This happens sometimes, and so we ordered 4 boxes worth of Infinity. We had a bunch there, and they were selling like hotcakes. Like, we'd sold them at this local Sci-Fi and the Rock convention. This was many years ago. And we opened up one box and sold out of it. Very good. Open up the next box, sold out of it. Open up the third box, and it's a box full of a travel book called Traveling Tuscany. And they'd put the wrong shipping label on the wrong box. So some travel company got a box of Infinity, we presume, and we got Traveling Tuscany.
Did it sell well?
We gave it to all our friends as a souvenir. We gave a copy each to our friends. To my knowledge, none of them have gone to Tuscany, so...
Well, I mean, I have been to Italy, so, you know, I'll say that was helpful for me.
And, you know, you could make the argument that they have traveled to Tuscany in that they read the book. Isn't that why you buy a book, so that you can travel while at home?
I mean, theoretically.
Yes.
Theoretically, we don't want to actually leave our houses, apparently.
That's true.
It's true.
If we're following Matt LeDrew logic.
I agree. Prove to me that you're not in the Matrix.
Beep boop.
What? Okay. Alright, well, we've reached the part of the episode where we talk about our sponsors. We don't have any sponsors right now because this is our first episode, but if you'd like to sponsor an episode, hit us up in the future. In the place of that, we're going to talk about a great novel by a local independent publisher, a best-selling author, actually, named Candace Osman. She wrote a book called Killer Me, which is described as Alice in Wonderland meets Silence of the Lambs, which is a very interesting concept. It's about a young girl who discovers that her estranged father is a serial killer, and he tries to get her to follow in his footsteps. It's a great book with an amazing cover. It's from Guardian Publishing. So I'm holding it in my hands right now. I know you guys can't see it, but it looks great. I think I'm going to have an image of it up on the screen there. It looks great. It's a great read from everything I hear. And Candace is just an amazing person. She helped organize the Leanal events that were going on during the Canada 150 during the summer there, and in which a whole bunch of Canadian authors toured around Newfoundland to different libraries and such, selling their books, giving readings, promoting. It was a great event that really helped us all network and get together, and was just brilliant. The whole Leanal crowd was great with that stuff. But yeah, so if you get a chance, check out Killer Me by Candace Osman, as well as the rest of her library of books there. She's got something for everyone, for sure. She does a little bit of thriller, and she does some romance series as well, if that's what you're into. Speaking of thrillers, if you're into thrillers or horrors or suspenseful books, we've got a new mailing list for people who are interested in that sort of thing. The mailing list content will be written by Candace Osmond and Paul Carberry, author of the Zombies on the Rock books, as well as myself. I've dipped into horror a few times throughout my career. So we're going to be providing exclusive content, and if you sign up for the mailing list today, there's actually an exclusive free ebook written by me. It's a novella called Reptilia, which is a zombie-esque story set in the ENGE universe. So that's lots of fun. I'll have the link down below in the description, and you can sign up to that mailing list if you would like to see some exclusive content and get free books, learn about deals coming up, learning about appearances, find out about what we're working on, all that good stuff. We're getting into the mailing lists a lot lately. There's actually a YA Fantasy Files mailing list written by Amanda Labonte and Ali House. The link for that's going to be down below too. There's a free book of short stories that comes with that if you sign up. And there's also, as always, our ever-popular Engine Universe newsletter. That is a mailing list that you can subscribe to, and if you sign up today, there's a free novella that you can get with that, The Theogony, which is an early story of Theo from Infinity, so kind of a prequel to his involvement with Infinity, all of which are lots of fun. Several of the covers were actually done by Kit Sora, a local artist from around here, who we're going to be working with a lot more lately. We love working with the local talent here at the Write Project podcast. If you like this, please give us a like, a subscribe, hit the bell icon, and you'll be notified when we put up new podcasts. That's if you're on YouTube. If not, subscribe to us on iTunes, if that's how you're listening to us on the podcast app there. Amanda gave a thumbs up because she lives and breathes by the podcast app. Yeah, and this was our first go around. If you have suggestions, please comment below. We'll be happy. We're gonna only get better and improve as time goes on, we hope. Thank you for listening, and get writing. Never look back.